to Whiskey Happens. I am Garrett. He's Travis. This is episode something or another. Yeah. Talking about building an American whiskey collection today. We're doing a varied price point, but around the same ballpark. But before we go forward, I need everyone to go ahead and hit that like button and smash the subscribe button, as the kids say. That helps us out tremendously. Yep. And so that more people can discover us, so that Travis can do things such as
giving stuff away. We went live on Tuesday to give away the bottle of Eagle Rare. So we did give away that bottle of Eagle Rare. We did come to a winner, but we also had 4 consolation prizes. And actually we had 6. Gary chose 2 more because we feel like we're in the giving mood. We want to share what we have and talk, want everybody to enjoy what we're drinking.
I'm pretty sure it's because I was drinking.
That could be too. So we have 4 handshakes of Eagle Rare we're going to give away, and one goes to John Michael. One goes to Tim Joyce. The other one is going to Joseph. I know I butcher his name every time, Klepich. And then one to Jay Cooper. Now, the big winner of the Eagle Rare, awesome, is going to Troy Runner. So congratulations, Troy Runner, on this. All the winners, if you guys could follow us on Instagram or even in the comments below, just or send us a direct message, actually. Send us a direct message. Send us your address. We want to get these out to you guys. Until we get your addresses, we won't be able to get them out to you. So really want to get these out. And yeah, so congratulations, everybody. We're going to do this more often.
Goddamn right we're doing it. Also, you 2 Instagram winners, if you want to hit us up in the DMs with your addresses as well. So now that we're done with the housekeeping, let's play with some bottles.
Yeah, sounds good.
So I know that we have opened, if you've gone way back and listened to our first episode ever, we talked about the bourbons that made us or got us into this. However, I think that it should be said that approach bourbon or whiskey, or it's like you had it that one time, kind of like red wine. It takes one bad night of red wine and you're like, I don't drink red wine anymore. Or one trip in jail to be like, I don't drink tequila anymore.
Well, that's Goldschlager for me. One horrible night way back when. We'll never touch that ever again.
Yeah, peach schnapps like that. In high school.
Yeah, exactly.
For this episode, we are going to just recommend some bottles to help you build a bourbon collection. I know that when you look behind Travis and see that massive mountain of beautiful bottles, you're like, what is he drinking? It doesn't taste good. I'm going to say probably 80% of it might to you.
And here's the thing. You have to find what's near you. Like, I mean, sometimes you don't have all the time in the world to go hunting for bourbon, I will say, in your area, try to connect with, if you have a local store near you that's readily available, connect with the people that work there, talk to them, get to know them, get to know the managers of the store, because they'll help you out. They'll point you in the right direction. You can tell them what you're thinking. They'll also tell you when they're getting the cool stuff in, sometimes it's allocated, just in small doses. And then sometimes they get a big shipment in, and it's good to know when you get that in, because
I'm just speaking for the few of us that live in ABC control states. Drive across the border. I know it's easier for me because I'm in what's called the DMV area. Try joining a local bourbon group. It's a great way to network or just hang out with people that appreciate the same things you do, as well as create opportunities to be like, hey, I can't make it to stay in line for 4 hours. Can you help me out?
We can go kind of back and forth on this. What would be the first one that you want to start off with a collection?
Now, I don't actually have Maker's Mark because I've been drinking this 101, but Maker's Mark comes in about $30. So it's not going to break the bank. This is a little higher proof than regular Maker's Mark, but is readily available. They do have different expressions. So if you like what you taste in Maker's Mark, try one of the expressions. I can't suggest that enough. There's some have been great, some have not been great for me. But for me, and I've said this many times before, Maker's was like I have money. $30 a bottle, but I have money. Everyone should probably have at least that one bottle that you like regardless. For me, it's Maker's Mark. but
No.
always keep that one. I call it home base. Same thing, Jameson. But I can't decide on what I'm going to get at a bar because their list is too long. I'll start with a Jameson every single time.
So yeah, so mine's is around the same. So mine is I have fallen in love with Michter's. And so Michter's, every single one to me, I've had them all except for the 25 year. I've had everything else. I've tried everything else. I don't have a bottle of all of them. But I just picked up the rye recently. And that's why I wanted to start off with the rye with my collection is I think everyone should try rye. Not saying you have to get a bottle, but I would definitely say go to a bar, try it because you're going to come across ryes to me are the best for old fashions. So I always say have a rye on hand because you're going to make mixed drinks when people come over, and this is something good to go with. This comes in at a price point around $45. So a little bit more on the high end, but
some mash bills are just different. So for me, the next bottle will be Elijah Craig small batch, which is a higher wheat content for a bourbon. I think it's perfect. It's definitely around this time of year. Can't go wrong with it. Weather should be nice. Currently, right now, it's not. But again, small batch, I don't think we've ever delved into this. There isn't a hard definition of small batch. It just means not all the barrels.
Yeah.
Like a distillery picked, whether I think Elijah Craig said something about 200 maybe or less. Other places say 10 or less. Other places say 100 or less.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own definition. It just, to me, I'm going to say it just means they didn't take the whole lot. Again, it's very approachable. It's between $30 and $35. I don't remember offhand. Smarter person would have wrote that down.
My next bottle is right with you. Elijah Craig.
Oh, okay.
Small batch. I'm telling you, I can't say enough about the flavor profile is amazing on this. And then also, like Gary said, you can find this anywhere. Every collection you start out with, you should start out with this. If this isn't your first, it needs to be in your top 3 bottles you get when you first buy your first couple of bottles. Because it's on a, it's not super expensive. Like Gary said, I found it just today. It was $27.99. You can't beat that. I mean, there's not much on the shelf that's $27.99 that is as good as this. It's a really good bourbon to start off your collection. And then it kind of goes with everything. Like Gary was saying, you can make a mixed drink. You can drink it. You can drink it neat. You can, share it. And then you also don't feel ashamed if you finish the bottle pretty quick because it's not that expensive instead of like a $60 or $70 or $80 bottle that you're like, oh God, I just drank that whole thing. And now you got, if you fell in love with it, you got to go pony up another 60 or $70. So kind of following along that trend of who's been around for a long time, Buffalo Trace, another one. You can't go wrong with Buffalo Trace.
It's going to be next, but it's definitely on the docket.
Yeah. I mean, so you can't go wrong with Buffalo Trace. Once again, another bottle that's right around $32, $34 here. I just saw it today. They had them on the shelves. Some places you can't find them, which in Texas you can. So, and it's not really too hard for me, but this is another one, 90 proof, not super crazy. I really enjoy drinking this. And that would be my third go-to.
For
How
me,
about you?
that's one of mine. It's okay to give in the peer pressure ones.
Yeah.
You're going to hear a lot of people talk about Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, pretty much anything that comes from Buffalo Trace as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buffalo Trace is on here just because I think it's a one where it's like people do talk about it, but it pays off. And I think, I'm sorry, I assume it pays off for everyone. Like it's one of those across the board. It's just an easy sipper, tastes great. I do want to say on the opposite spectrum of me spending $13 a pour on Buffalo Trace, I have said this many times before, Mr. Evan Williams, Bottle Bond. I think it's great to have a Bottle Bond in your collection when you're starting out. There are particulars in Bottle Bond, but basically it has to be a minimum of 4 years. I think it can go up to 23 years. Basically, the government just watched it and vetted it, and that's all it really means. Always at 100 proof. Correct me if I'm wrong, Travis. The history of it was like it was part of taxation. So it was just an easier way to pay your alcohol tax.
It was the Bottle and Bond Act of 1897, and I will go right along with you on Bottle and Bond, and I'm going with Old Forester's 1897 Bottle and Bond. So Old Forester is prohibition type whiskey. This is a true sense of Bottle and Bond. This is it right here. This is where it came from, the thought process behind Bottle and Bond, why it happened is because of the Old Foresters. So they've been around forever as well. Another Old Foresters, just again, there's nothing in that lineup that really you can go wrong with. I got one more left, but Gary, I'll let you go first.
So my last bottle is actually just keeping the spirit of things, and it is New Riff. This happens to be single barrel. I don't think you have to have a single barrel in your collection. However, I think that what Travis has been saying almost emphatically this whole time is that don't be afraid to keep trying. New Riff is a brand new distillery. It hasn't been around longer than a decade. And they're out here producing their style of whiskey. And it wasn't until I moved to this area, bourbon group I joined, just bought a barrel, Monica Newrifsky, I believe was what they called it. That, however, that set me on a hunt for this because I'd never heard of New Riff before that. Tried it, loved it, and the rest is history. So I think that whether it's good or bad, this worked out well for me. I know I've gone on about Wilderness Trail, did not work out for me, but just don't be afraid to. You can have what you like.
Yep.
I love John Jay all day. We'll keep drinking it forever and ever until I leave Virginia. Then I have to pay other people to send it to me. However, I still like discovering, like Travis said, it's all about the story, the connection, and I think it's a conversation piece of like, you discovered this, and maybe like Travis showed me Basil Hayden. Like I didn't know there was a grown-up Jim Beam many years ago, and it's not bad. There's a decanter over here of it right there, off camera, that no one's ever going to see.
Lastly, for me is 1792 small batch. You can find this everywhere. This is my I'm actually our TikTok channel. We get questions all the time about like, hey, I'm starting a bourbon collection. What can I go get that's under $30 that I can get pretty easily? In most places, 1792. Super easy, small batch. You can find that anywhere. I have literally never been to a store that doesn't carry that. Under $30. Usually it's right around $27.99, maybe $30, but it's under 30 most of the time. And it's perfect for an everyday sipper. It's perfect for kicking off your collection, and it's only, like I said, 94 proof. Most things I've talked about, 94, 96, 94, 90, 100, that's where my sweet spot is. So I would definitely go out and get a bottle of that.
I like doing, and people at home, hang on to your britches because shit's about to get weird, is I like making peach tea and adding 1792 to it.
Okay.
Feel free to call it like Gary Palmer.
The Gary Palmer. I love it. I love it. No, I haven't tried that. The most interesting thing I've tried is in which I'm going to make a video eventually again of me making the old fashioned with cold brew coffee. That was awesome. So, and I made it with Buffalo Trace. So, it's just, but yeah, 1792. Once again, like I said, you can't go wrong. But yeah, those are the ones that I would say right there. My collection that I was sharing with you guys, right around $150. So, I mean, if you got 150, you can get the majority of those at pretty much any liquor store. And that's a great collection to start out with.
Yeah, I guess for consistency's sake, I dropped it. But the New Riff runs about $50 here. The Evan Williams runs $17 here. Buffalo Trace is $26. Non-secondary. I know a lot of people can pay upwards $60, $70 for that. Ledge Craig's $32, because I know you specifically said $27. Might have to pick up a bottle just for the sake of picking up a bottle when I come see you.
Yeah.
Maker's Mark runs around 30. The other expressions, such as the 101, cost me around 50.
The only thing I would say that you pay more for is if you get a one that's a store pick, and that's specific to that store. They've paid for the bottle, they paid for the barrel, and so it's different. You're not going to find it anywhere. If you pay a few bucks more for that, I don't see a problem with it. And usually it's not that much more. It's just a little bit more, but the store picks are fun too. So I would definitely pay a little bit more for store picks just because they're fun.
Anyway, I think if you're looking to start a bourbon collection, whiskey collection, Irish whiskey collection, Scotch collection, just have fun. At the end of the day, money's money. Hopefully you'll be able to make more, and don't go crazy.
Yeah.
I think this does simple rules to live by until you discover what you like. Now, however, if you keep buying bottles and you don't like them, send them here. I'm going to drink them.
Yeah, we will.
So with that being said, it doesn't matter if you like it neat, don't know what you're doing, on the rocks, or in a fucking Coke. Whiskey happens. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.